Australia is unique. 85% of our marine life here, you can't see it anywhere else in the world. After 20 years of diving, I'm still moved by it.
G'day, my name's Adam Hills. Welcome to Spicks and Specks, the music quiz show that needs a little more guitar in the foldback. Our two team captains each and every week are the uncompromising Alan Bro and the uncontainable Miff Warhurst. Alan's first guest tonight was the lead singer of one of the UK's most successful bands, selling over 60 million records, with such hits as Red Red Wine, I Got You Babe, 1 in 10 and Can't Help Falling in Love with You. From UB40, please welcome Ali Campbell. Alan's second team member tonight is a comedian and actress who once did work experience with radio announcer Alan Jones. Oh yeah, right now there are war veterans saying, oh you poor thing. Please welcome one of the stars of the Ronnie Johns Half Hour, Felicity Ward. Nick's first guest tonight is an American folk rock singer who has sung for President Carter, President Johnson and the President of Italy, and sang one of the most famous protest songs of all time, Eve of Destruction. Please welcome to the show, Barry Maguire. Nick's final guest is a comedian who was once threatened with legal action by the Wiggles. He didn't take them seriously until he woke up with the head of Dorothy the dinosaur in his bed. Please welcome Dave O'Neill. Now, just before we go on, Barry, Eve of Destruction is one of my favourite songs.
Oh, boy, you're in trouble. I know a guy that played it for his wedding, at his wedding party, over and over, and they were out dancing to Eve of Destruction at the wedding party.
There's got to be a point where you'd look at your husband as he's playing, we're on the Eve of Destruction, going, is this really going to work?
They called it a protest song, you know, but it really wasn't a protest song. I felt it as a societal diagnostic, you know. If you go to a doctor and he says you have a melanoma, you don't go tell everybody he's a protest doctor. You know? That's why I thought Eve was just saying, hey, we've got a lot of problems here, let's work them out. You know, I mean, there were no answers, and in fact, it's probably more valid today than it was 45 years ago.
Well, it went #1 in, was it 1965? And both the Billboard and the Cashbox charts in the States. Yeah. It's featured on Stephen King's miniseries The Stand. It's been in an episode of The Simpsons. It was on The Greatest American Hero, which I've got to admit is where I first heard it. It's been in an episode of The Sopranos, and a French translation was used in the closing credits of the Michael Moore film Sicko.
This Eve must be a very special lady. I'd love to meet Eve.
All right, our first game tonight is called Know Your Product. Your choices tonight are Island Records, Naxos Records, Mercury Records, and Death Row Records. Miff can pick the first topic tonight.
Mercury, thank you.
Okie dokes, Alan.
Island, please.
Sweet, we'll start with Mercury. Everyone on your buzzers?
Okay.
Let's play Spicks and Specks. Your first question for 1 point. Which Mercury Records mullet-sporting singer went to #1 with the song Achy Breaky Heart? Yes.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Billy Ray Cyrus it was. First point for Alan. Next question for 2 points. Have a look at this female anthem released by Mercury Records in 1983. Need the name of the song and the disco diva who took it. Yes?
She works hard for the money, and it's Donna Summer.
Yes, 2 points, Miff. Finally, for 3 points, have a look at this 50s rock star. I need 3 things. His stage name, his real name, and his highest charting single.
Oh, is that you, Barry?
No.
Yes?
It's not the Big Bopper, is it?
It is the Big Bopper.
Okay, well, that's a start. And what else did you need to know?
I need his real name and his highest charting single.
His real name wasn't the Big Bopper? Do either of you guys know?
Derek Bopper.
Derek Bopper. You want to go with Derek Bopper?
No.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to throw it over to this side then. Anyone know his real name? Or...
No, he's calling to see if the plane's on time, that one that he crashed in.
It's all right, it's not
Too soon, Dave.
I think Chantilly Lace was in
There it is, Chantilly Lace is the song. And his real name was J.P. Richardson.
Oh, who knew that?
Yeah.
He didn't even know that.
On the Island Records. Your first question for 1 point.
Hang on, here we go.
Have a listen to this pop hit. Tell me which 80s ladies' man took it to #1 on the charts. Yep.
Oh, yeah, Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love.
Yeah.
It is Robert Palmer, and the song was Addicted to Love. 2 points. Chris Blackwell and Graham Goodall were the founders of Island Records. In what decade and on what island nation was it founded? Yes?
Was it the 50s, maybe?
Ireland.
Maybe 60s, but it was Jamaica, wasn't it?
It was Jamaica. What decade are you going?
Decade.
50s?
Yes, well done, Barry.
What year in the 50s?
1959.
Well, almost the 60s.
Oh, exactly.
3 points on the line for your final question. Have a look at these 3 Island Record albums. Name each of the artists. Yep.
Grace Jones.
Yep.
You too.
Yes.
And Jimmy Cliff.
3 points out of 3. Grace Jones, Island Life, U2 War, and Jimmy Cliff, The Harder They Come.
Well done.
Now, Ali,
Yeah.
you've just released a new solo album.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, you got a phone call from someone congratulating you on the album.
I did, yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I'm sitting at home and my management have phoned up and said, is it okay if Paul McCartney has your number? And I went, no. I said, absolutely not, tell him I'm busy. No. So what happened, right? He phoned me and says, you know, all right, Whack. He says, I've just come back from Jamaica and I've heard your album. He says, and it's wicked, it's a great little album. Yeah, kidder, he called me. And I was just going, jumping into the phone, you know. I thought it was somebody having a laugh at first, you know. But, yeah, he phoned me up to tell me how much he liked my album. Oh. And then, after, I was thinking, who else, you know, could phone me up who could top that, you know?
Heather Mills?
Trying to get you on side, you know?
Well, look, someone told me... look, I'm going to admit, it was Dicko from Australian Idol who found out you were coming on the show, and he said, ask him if it's true that he was smashed in the face with a glass when he was 17 and still keeps the glass with him.
In a matchbox?
Well, no, in my face. What it is. No, seriously, if you look here, there's a little bit of glass coming out of my cheek here.
And that was from when?
That's 30-something years ago, you know.
Wow.
It's working itself out of the...
Yeah, I can just feel it clicking there, and it started bleeding last night.
Oh.
And 7 years after it happened, a big lump came out of there.
So, ladies, if you feel like giving him a kiss, use the right cheek.
Don't do that.
So...
I thought that Woy Woy was kind of tough, but that's not very tough at all. Woy Woy's like Frankston, probably a few more dead shits, though. Except there's no A in dead shits. It's just dead shits, dead shits. Like that, that's how we talk. I had to take elocution lessons to even speak this eloquently. I used to make like, yeah, my no,
So you're doing very well, being this is your second language.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, can you say that again? A little more nose, a little more...
Oh, you're doing really well, boys. Right, at the end of the first round, let's do a score check. Alan, Ali, Felicity are on 5 points. Myth, Barry, Dave in front, 6 points.